Mark Kramer, Senior Lecturer of Entrepreneurship at Vinh University in Hanoi, Vietnam. I'm also the host of Asian Founders and Funders. And today our guest is Linh Ngan, founder CEO of Pham Investments. Linh, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Hello, Mark.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. So first of all, tell us about your professional background. How did you get to where you're at right now?
I am. I study law and graduate from International Law and Business University in Korea. So basically, I spent 6 years study law and another around 6 or 7 years in policy, public policy.
And public policy?
Yes.
So how did you come up with this particular venture that you're in now?
Yeah, I think that I have a sense of right and wrong since I was very young. So I always want to make the world better. And that also been nurtured by my family background. So I study law by nature, and later on when I graduate from university, I think that okay, I will work in NGO and work in something uh, that can help changing the situation for better. And for that reason, I work in advocacy, public policy, and my major is power and energy.
So what made you focus on this? I mean, why wanting to work for NGOs and why the energy space?
Because as you know, from in the recent year, energy is a very hot topic in Vietnam because we do not only need to have the power, but the power needs to be clean, stable, to meet the needs of all the FDI coming to Vietnam, and it's become a very big issue. When I work for Vietnam Business Forum, we heard from many chambers from the European community, American, Japanese, Korean, and so on. And the common topic is about energy. We need to address this issue. However, as a middle income country, we face so many difficulties on this process. So I think that policies need to come first to address on the barrier to FDI to help that process to have achieved that transition goal. So that's why I work in policy and energy sector.
So I hear from businesses through the American Chamber of Commerce and other places that increasing energy capacity in Vietnam is incredibly important because Intel and so many companies want to make Vietnam the chip manufacturing capital of Asia, maybe even the world, especially since we have so many engineers that graduate from Vietnam, and Vietnam has become very welcoming. How can that happen in terms of building a better infrastructure, but at the same time, keeping in mind environmental issues and sustainability? What's your thought about that? How do you balance making sure we get these opportunities at the same time balancing it with the needs for environmental safety?
Balancing, yeah, it's a critical question for on the businesses. But because we know that without sustainability, then it is very difficult to like it is like if you don't think in long term, then you could not get what you want to achieve in a sustained way. So it is also a long term strategy for all the businesses, and also right now it is a pressure, kind of global pressure for all the businesses to following ESG, the the gov- the so I think that it is internal and external pressure for on the businesses to follow the long-term strategy of green growth.
So what's it take to run a consultancy like yours? I mean, you're doing consulting for, I guess, for governmental agencies throughout the country, and you're in a totally different business than what most of the entrepreneurs I interview are, which they're marketing to other businesses or consumers. But you have to convince governmental agencies to utilize your services, correct?
Uh, about convincing, I think that it's a more of like we listen to the government and see what difficulty they face, and like we assist them in that journey to help them achieve what they want to achieve. So actually, it's not about persuade them, persuade the government, but we assist them on that journey. Um, and it's not about changing them, but to support them in that journey, so we can equip them with the capacity they need to achieve in that process, and let them have the freedom, the capacity to really decide that they want to do what's best for them.
So where do you start in an energy project? I mean, at what point do you get involved, and what's
Mm,
involved in managing an energy project?
Uh, we have two types of business. One is the short-term one, and another one is long-term. So for the current, we working with the government on policy. So we do capacity building for the government. We also support them with advise them with on the research and policy research, to advise them on any policy challenge that they have to face. So it is to streamline the way for later long-term businesses, and we also work with them on some uh, way to decarbonize the industry. So it is for the long term.
And how long ago did you start the business, and how many people do you have now working for you?
Uh, the company has started in Vietnam since 1995. However, like at the first time coming to Vietnam, we are focused on infrastructure with the funding from national some national funder. But when Vietnam become a middle income country, we changing our approach and start working focus our attention on energy more. So in the recent 5 years, we work on the energy, and we have a core team of 5 people. We want to keep it clean, small team, and yeah, uh, mm, you know, till we don't want to make a very big organization. We just want to keep it a small one and flexible. Yeah.
And so give us an idea of some of the projects that you work on, because on your website, you have some really cool projects that you've been working on. So you can give us a flavor for the types of different projects you work on?
Yeah, we have two type of projects. The energy projects, we will uh, mostly be the coordinator between uh, investor, developer, and uh, EPC on the stakeholder related to an energy project. And we um, we take on the small speed into a big picture and make it happen. So it is about power and infrastructure for develop a power energy project. And for policy projects, we will work. We will also be the project management, coordinating the academic researcher, NGO, civil society, government, and bring them and private sector, of course. We bring them onto one table and discussing on this topic and find out the solution for policy issues.
Now, do you also raise the capital for these projects, or are you putting together the plan and then someone else raises the money for the projects you're involved in? How does that work?
Yeah, we raise money from green funder, and we also sustain by our consulting work.
And how long does it take from the time you're engaged in a project to the time it actually goes live? How long is that process?
Depend on project, but I can say that yeah, depends on the nature of each other project. For as I say, short term and long term, we help policy project. It is like it's uh it's maybe 2 year, 3 year project, 5 year project, and long term it is our businesses together with some state-owned enterprise, and it takes uh, a certain longer period.
So how do you handle that mentally? Because not everybody could handle how long it takes to do a project. A lot of people like to see instant gratification, especially young people who get into business. How do you handle the long periods of time it takes from the time you start pitching someone, closing the deal, and then seeing something actually happen? I mean, I think that it takes a certain mental mindset to be able to handle that.
I think it is an involving process, and we are a young team, and we are quite eager to see to really follow the project and see how it happens for us, because everything is very new. So we learn by time, and during this process we use short-term income to pay for long-term strategy. And
But
this is
how do you have the patience for it? Like you
yeah.
really have to be incredibly patient.
Yeah, because we are young and we think that it is learning. And when we think it is learning, then everything happens. We are eager to see how we can handle it. So it is the way I love about my career, because yeah, we, even though the team is young, we have a another partner, and he is uh, already 70 years old, and he is also very supportive for us. And yeah, we believe it is a learning process, and we are exciting by each step that we can achieve. Even we can fail on the way, but it is only about learning.
Understood, understood. How did your law degree help you in this work? Because I kind of think being trained as a lawyer has got to have been very helpful in this job. So how did your law degree and a lawyer's mindset help you?
Oh, it had pros and cons. Actually, pros is that I have a logical thinking, so I maybe I don't really understand the technical. However, I know that when I hear a thing, I know that is it right or wrong and what the process should be. And I would understand what is the opportunity and also the challenge of the pro of a thing. However, as a legal with a legal mind, I also perceive a lot of risk along with that process. And when I have that in mind, I can prepare for this better.
What kind of people work best in a environmental energy consulting business? What kind of people do you look for to join an organization like yours?
Uh, I think that the most important is that uh, they have a mind that one good thing happens. That is the first thing in my organization, and the second one is that they're willing to learn because it's like if you are willing to learn that in this modern society, then you can learn everything with um, internet. I support and so on.
I can tell you have a very positive personality and that people must like being around you. What's your leadership style with your own people? How do you lead them?
Ah, I think that is a very interesting question because I don't think that like in our organization, everybody have a role, and we don't really live by our title. Like I will be the one who manage the whole organization. However, I empower the lady who work in policy, so she can write automatically by herself. So she will lead her project, and I only support her if she needed, and so on for the other. So we don't really work by the title that we have. We are very flexible in the way that we handle things. We know that everyone in our organization will know that they are responsible for for the thing that they do, and they will be the the leader in the side. I'm confident for about what they do, and if they do something uh not perfectly everyone, then it is a chance for him or her to correct it. So we accept it and as an involving process.
Do you have a mentor who coaches you on how to lead a business like yours? Do you have any mentors yourself?
Uh, I read book, um, reinventing organization is the one most inspire me, and also I learned from uh, the co-founder of Dream Vietnam. Uh, yeah, he is 70 years old and he only holding space for us. He allow us to do everything that we are good at, and he always be there if we need advice and support. But most of the time, we have freedom to do what we want.
How do you market your business so people know you even exist? I mean, how does that work? Is it just referral business? Do you do email marketing campaigns? How do people know to contact you?
Uh, Actually, we don't promote ourselves a lot in the normal way of marketing, but we found uh, two business association. It's the Power Energy Working Group under Vietnam Business Forum. So it's combined of around 16 national chambers of commerce, and another one is the um, Energy Committee of AmCham Vietnam. So we take lead, we provide advice, and also support them on the businesses when they need. So when we support them, then they also support us.
You clearly have so many great skills and you could be working for anybody. Anybody'd be happy to have you working for them. Why did you start your own business? And what do you like about being in charge of your own business, being an entrepreneur? What's the positives and what are the challenges?
Uh, the, the I think that the positive of this is that we can we live we are independent. We we invent our organization with the with what we want to have in that organization, the mission and vision. So we have the freedom to do what we want to really achieve in life. So uh, it is the thing that we love the most in that adventure. And difficulty, yes, we have a lot because we are still very young and we need uh, young. I mean, like in policy sector, we are only around 5 years, and we still need to find a way to sustain our organization. But yeah, that is also a challenge, but interesting process.
Are all of your consulting projects focused on Vietnam or do you do anything outside of Vietnam?
Uh, yeah, we focus on Vietnam and uh, we also explore other developing countries, neighborhood of Vietnam, but mostly right now we focus in Vietnam.
Is doing business outside of Vietnam any different than doing business here? Like, are all the countries, and especially Southeast Asia, your market, are they all basically the same, or is everything different based on the country?
I think that every country have their like different motives and different background. So doing business in other country need to apply different skill sets and also need to learn a lot about the background, the history of the country, the people and the size, because even the north and the south Vietnam we have a lot of different.
Right, culturally totally different.
Yeah,
And
and
it and
especially in politics.
and it does business operate differently in the north and the south? I mean, how is it different?
uh I think that the south um in the south we are more open and direct in the way we approach a situation. So and because of the culture, then we can really go direct into the point, not necessary uh to to help any concerns about um uh like how to make it nicely, but go directly to the point. So yeah, that is a different way of approach a problem from the north and the south.
It seems that government is really in Vietnam is taking sustainability very seriously.
Mm.
There are cities like Nha Trang that are having an entire strategy based around sustainability and being able to attract people from around the world to either be tourists or even live here. So, what's the long-term prospects for improving sustainability in Vietnam? And why do you think the government is so focused on this right now? And do you see that continuing?
Yeah, I explained before that is an internal and external pressure for every province and on the government that they need to change. Uh, Actually, when we really work with the government, I don't see yeah, we see the change, but not at the speed that we want, because it's a people and organization, a very big organization and mindset of people. So yeah, I think that in in general they change, but the way we think about this is um uh it's a learn like it's a learning process of both private sector and public sector on something that, yeah, that is a very complex issue. Energy is a very complex issue because it combines uh not only our willing, but on the infrastructure, finance, uh, culture, and on the political aspect. And yeah, I think that what we think about this process is that we don't really want to change people or the government. We equip them with the knowledge and build up their capacity, and by this they have the freedom to decide that what is best for them.
That's great. So what are the business opportunities for people who would like to get into the energy and environmental space? Like what do you see for entrepreneurs are the big opportunities here?
Yeah, I think that in the next 10 years, there's a lot of opportunity for enterprise in Vietnam, and the labor workforce to joining the energy sector, because we are changing from fossil fuel to renewable and more type of energy. So that involves a lot of um, aspects. For example, the consulting firm to help develop the master plans of a project, or advise them on new technology, and also the energy engineer to really work on EPC construction of a project. So we did a survey on the capacity building needs of the labor workforce in Vietnam right now, and we really see that it is a big gap for Vietnam, and it is also a right time for uh, people who are interested in energy sector to really learn and start something.
Do you see a lot of opportunity for college graduates? What should they be majoring in to work in your industry? What are the different types of jobs that are going to be needed?
Yeah, that involves a lot of things during the process of developing a power plan of a power project. In the very beginning, that we need to have the um uh like we need to really assess the financial and the legal aspect of a project. That is a very two key aspects of a project to see whether it is feasible to invest into a project in Vietnam right now. And so you see that mostly right now people have the skill set from financial, from legal perspective, but to really put it into the energy sector, then not really much people have that skill set about any engineering. Mostly right now, Vietnam, we only have a very basic uh, subject that speak only about electricity. However, we need to like to work in renewable energy. Then they really need to understand the wind, the solar, and all the nature beside what they study basically at university. So um and to and also even though like transportation are all involved into that sector, because bringing wind turbine to a location that is a very uh big uh construction, and we really need to understand how to manage it at the site. So that combine so many different uh uh, under like expertise into a project, from
Different
transportation.
types of expertise.
Yes, yeah.
And I was wondering, I didn't see any mention here, and I've never even heard of mention since I've been here, of nuclear power. Because I've read Bill Gates's papers on nuclear power. He's made a big investment in nuclear power. And yet, after the Fukushima meltdown in Japan, um, countries have been unwilling to go back to nuclear power. Some of it now in the United States are talking about restarting the nuclear program, but it seems to me to be the cleanest and most efficient energy. Is Vietnam looking at nuclear plants? And if not, why not?
Mm, I see in the recent yeah, during this year there are some initiatives from the government of Vietnam to learn whether we want to restart nuclear program. However, yeah, that involves a lot of political aspect as well. So, uh, to have a clear answer, yes or no, I think that yeah, it still depends. But in my opinion, nuclear is quite an issue for Vietnam, considering the in 2015, 16, 17, the social concern about nuclear in Vietnam are very high, and we hardly start any nuclear projects due
Yeah. So,
to the risk
you
that
know,
yeah.
what's your thought about nuclear yourself? I mean, do you see that as a really good source of energy, or you think there's better options like wind turbines?
Uh, it it needs to consider the background and the like to invest into a nuclear project. It needs a lot of money. Why if we invest into renewable energy such as solar and wind, that yeah, it is more flexible in the ways we want to come for money to invest. So it's actually uh if if you are a rich person, then pursue in nuclear right now, it's a good option. However, for uh for a country that still um needs to call for a lot of capital, then uh renewable is more flexible for them to invest.
Okay, here's my last question for you, and thanks so much for taking the time. Where does AI fit into your industry? Where does AI fit into the power and environmental industry? Are you using AI in any way yourselves?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we apply it into policy and our research. Um, yeah, it's a very helpful tool for us um to support our pricing and generate idea. Uh,
Well, I thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. And I wish you the best in your business. And I know that what you do is actually critical to Vietnam's future. And so you're doing great work from everything that I've been reading about what you're doing. So congratulations on waking up every morning with something exciting to do that you know is helping your country.
Thank you so much, Mark. And it's very lovely to talk with you today.